Hey guys, it's Kyle from InvestorShare here. We're going to go over the last technical trade that we could jump off of that made us about 5%. You could still technically be in it, but there is one thing that I would want you to look at if you're in a short position right now that could potentially go against us. And it'd be a good way to convert quickly to a long position to get more gains as well. So we're looking at that for a potential 2% gain, and we're also be looking at Ethereum for more gains as well. If you guys are interested in that, and I'll see you in the inside. All right, so right now I'm looking at Bitcoin on the 15-minute chart. We just broke this asymmetrical triangle right here, and we already hit its technical target. However, you can stay in a short position even though we hit its technical target. And right now we're at a descending channel right now, and the point where you want to exit this channel, like close this short position, is if we break this down triangle level of resistance. So what I would do, draw this out on your chart and quickly add an alarm to it. So if it ever hits this point, then you could easily be notified of when you should close your short position and quickly convert to a long position. Now the technical target for this little channel is the top of the channel around 21,300. However, we do have to look out for locals levels of resistance along the way. We just created a new one about half an hour ago. But what you want to look for is if we break to the upside, you see something like this. You'd have to look out for this local level of resistance. You typically want to wait until we get a higher high before entering a confirmation bounce off this. So what normally would play out in terms of market behavior is we would come up through here, get rejected, have that rejection give us momentum bounce from here, and then we would go up to higher levels from there. So that's why you typically want to wait until you see a confirmation bounce, because you don't want to be entering at this kind of point. You want to enter down here when it does that confirmation bounce, and so it will reduce your risk. Now for the stop loss, you want to look for the local level of low, like the local low, which would be roughly around here. And right here is where you'd be taking some profits off the table, especially if you start seeing resistance. If we start seeing a double top off this area of interest on the VPVR, then we'll just continue to go down and create a new formation. The new formation could be something like this: rejection, come back down to this area of interest, create a double bottom, and then that will give us enough momentum to get back above into this area of interest. Or we could just simply climb our way up, build support, hit our technical target. But I can't see the future. But I love to, look at these areas of interest and resistance and support to tell me, what could potentially play out so I can be prepared for it. So if we break this resistance, I'll be entering along and closing most of it around here. Now, going over to Bitcoin dominance chart, we can see that it's currently in a falling wedge formation. And this is important if you're someone who trades with altcoins against Bitcoin. You could be technically entering a long position on your against Bitcoin with your altcoin pair. That's kind of complicated to go over in this little video, but I will. If you guys are interested in learning something like that, you can just jump into InvestorShare and I will show you what how it all works. Anyways, this falling wedge formation, if we broke to the upside, it would act as a confirmation bounce for this larger double bottom formation, and it could bring the dominance level all the way up to 45.25%. That can happen from people losing faith in stablecoins or altcoins and just putting it into Bitcoin instead. Anyways, let's go over to Ethereum. You see we got a broadening wedge formation coming on right here. If we break to the upside, the technical target's around 1,200 area roughly. But we do have to look out for locals levels of resistance, just like we were talking about with Bitcoin. We want to see us break up here, get a support bounce. Keep your eye out here, and you have to keep your eye out around here as well. So if we start seeing resistance around here, this will be a good point to take at least half off the table and move your stop loss a little bit further up, closer to break even. That's pretty much everything I got for you guys. I thought there was a theta trade that I could show you. It could still play out, but basically there's a double bottom formation right now. We're starting to build support off the neckline. We do need to see a lot of volume come in to break this local level of resistance that we're getting stopped out by. If we see this break out, you could be, a little conservative with your entry and just wait until we break above this and use this as support before entering. It will sacrifice some of your profits. However, it would still be a decent risk to reward ratio because your stop loss will just be in a different location, like roughly around here. So if you were to pull this out with a long position tool, it'd be something like this for risk to reward ratio. A 1 to 2 is relatively decent. Normally, you would want to put your stop loss either below a neckline bounce like this or roughly around here. But if we're going to be waiting until we get above this area of resistance just to be safe, then we would put it below the lower low, the recent low. DXY is still pumping. We got this uptrending level of resistance that it's fighting against, and it's getting closer and closer to a technical target that you can find on like the daily. Around here, like the technical target's like 117, and the it seems like the US dollar is actually starting to flip the euro. You guys can look into that on your own, but basically, if you look at the euro versus USD chart, it's showing that the US dollar is starting to flip the euro right now. And all this is temporary, guys. The US dollar, unfortunately, won't be able to sustain this. It only able to do so because of the interest rate hikes. And there might be another one on Wednesday that we have to look out for. So if you're entering any trades, just be aware that that could influence your trade as well. We are still, like on the daily for Bitcoin, we are still looking at this as a potential flag formation that could bring us all the way down to its technical target's around 10,000, but we do have support at 15,000, and this may not play out that way. We could get a bounce here, and if we get a bounce and we find the support above this BFR interest level, we could create a shoulder here. We got a shoulder here, and we got the head here for a reverse head and shoulders formation. That could bring us same kind of scenario with the W. It could bring us all the way up to 25,000. But we got to take it with a grain of salt, and we have to wait until these actions actually play out, and we have to wait until we get a bounce off this uptrending level of resistance before we would enter a long position for something like that. But if you guys have any questions about this, you can reach out to me in the Discord. If you guys are interested in learning how to trade in general, you can join us at investshare.com. We have tons of lessons for decentralized finance, for trading, for more passive income streams, for pretty much everything crypto. Even if you're someone who just got into the space, we're building, we're continuously building more and more lessons within the course for people that never even heard of crypto. But that's I got everything for you guys. I hope you have yourself an amazing day, and thank you for watching. And please subscribe. Please subscribe. Thank you.